iron, gold, redstone, lapis and diamond. We want every single last block of it in Minecraft 1.18, and I'm going to show you how. Don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance. Today is all about ores. Minecraft 1.18 might have lots more caves, but there is still a lot that you've got to uncover, which means most of the precious ores are buried deep in the deep slate. I'm going to show you a really easy semi-industrial method to get all of the ores out of your Minecraft world. And by all, I mean all the gold, all the diamond, all the redstone, all of the lapis, and all of the iron. This is the current ore distribution diagram. For the purposes of this video, we're going to focus on Y equals 16 and below, giving us 80 Y levels of ores to extract. The diagram shows that with the exception of coal and copper, most ores appear under Y16, so this is a good place to start. This method can be used in any biome, and with the exception of the mesa, ore distribution is fairly similar. However, this method is all about digging, so you need to get yourself a decent mining setup. That includes a really good pickaxe if you can get it. You need an axe, you need a shovel, and you need a sword to bash stuff. If you can't get the enchantments, then get many pickaxes, you're going to need them. Let's get down to Y16. Now, on watching this video, you might say, well, Avomance, this is really obvious. And frankly, you're right, it is. But sometimes you have to show the obvious to make it really clear. I have dug myself down to Y16. And by that I mean you can see I'm looking at this block here. This block is Y16. I've exposed the Y16 block. And the Y16 block is the lowest block that we really want to be mining at, because that's where most of the ores are going to be. Or at least the ores that we're interested in for this particular experiment. Now we're going to work across the width of two entire chunks. So I've used F3 and G to show my chunk borders. You can just see them in the wall behind me. Sorry Bedrock players, I know you've not got the debug screen and I don't know what to tell you. So now I'm going to dig a 3x3 tunnel across the entirety of these two chunks, 32 blocks. Let's do that. So you should end up with something around about this wide. And I'm now going to dig out this 3 wide tunnel, another 4 blocks deep. So your trench is going to look like this, and we now need to dig sideways. So come to one end and you're going to want to dig the entirety of each side out 4 high and 30 deep. And you should end up with something that looks a little bit like this, and you'll notice we're starting to break into a few caves. This is fine, it will probably help you with some of the digging that you have to do later. And you're also starting to collect some ores now. They're going to be mostly copper and iron, the very odd little bit of lapis perhaps, some coal, but every now and again you do also jump into just a little bit of diamond. Then come to the side where your entrance is going to be, and you want to dig out this entire wall, at least 1 deep. I'd suggest 2. Once that's completed, create yourself a little entrance here so you can get in and out dead easy. You could use ladders, or maybe you want to have a grand set of stairs. I've pulled up my chunk borders just to remind me where the edge of the chunk that I'm using is. And I'm going to come all the way to the end, and I'm going to count in 1, 2, and I'm going to dig out this entire row all the way to the end, and then I'm going to dig out the entire platform all the way to 2 before the end of the other wall. When you're done, it will look a little bit like this. I'd recommend you getting some torches in here now, because when you're over here, you are far enough away from over there for mobs to spawn in and cause you problems. Now, inside this tray, you're going to want to take it down another 4 levels. Once you've done that, your feet are going to be at Y7. Come to one of the very ends and place yourself in 5 bits of ladder just to allow you to get back up to the top. It's probably a good idea to do it over the other end as well. Then come in 1, 2 from that ladder, and on the 3rd one you want to dig down, go all the way across in that direction, take out the entire tray, again another 5 deep. You may find that you're breaking into caves on either side or on the edges. That's okay. You might choose to fill them in a little bit later or just leave them. Come to the other end again, fit in 5 more ladders, and then you're just going to repeat the process until you get down to the very bottom. Make sure that you leave a gap of 2 at each end every time that you go down another 5 levels. By this time, you're definitely going to want to put down some chests just by your entrance to put in all of the cobble and the ores and other bits and pieces that you're going to be pulling out as you dig this hole. And you will find that your final trench will be 7 wide, and that will be 6 deep. and that will take you to the top row of bedrock. And at this point, you have got a number of choices, and I'm going to show you them now. Choice 1 is very easy. Come to the edge of your highest point of the tray, come in one from the edge, so one past your ladder, and go 1, 2, 3, and then jump 3 blocks and go 1, 2, 3, and carry that on all the way to the end. And do that on every single level on both sides. And when you get to the bottom level, go 1, 2, 3, 4, not 3, all the way along on both sides. And that is going to give you a very cathedral style regular mining operation like this one. Each tunnel has 2 blocks above it like that. So when you dig through, you are going to be exposing the 4th block above your head and seeing whether or not you have got any ore there. And when you dig the tunnel above it, the floor exposes that 5th one, so you aren't missing any blocks whatsoever. And with the exception of emeralds, which you're not going to get down here, no ores are likely to spawn in a single plane, so you will always expose all of the ores between your 2 tunnels. You can then strategically place a load of chests along your mine so as you can dump all of that extra cobble and granite and diorite that you are accumulating in your inventory to make sure you've got plenty of space for all the ores you're going to get. Now that is option 1, but I can already hear some of you grumbling. Option 2 is to offset your tunnels. This is going to allow you to access the very, very thin strip that you might miss if you do option 1. But I'm going to be honest, this is a very, very thin strip, and the chances of something not being exposed by one of your tunnels in option 1 is really, really low. With option 2, all but the very top tunnels have to be 4 high. Option 3 isn't about the tunneling. Option 3 is about the way you're going to collect together all of the resources that you get out of this mega mine. Dig a 1 block deep channel at the back wall along your mine like this. Get a chest and place it in the gap one above the floor, so there is a gap above it. Make it a double chest, and then get the hopper and shift click it into the top of that chest. Grab some stairs upside down so the chest opens, and then get some building blocks and place them first so they're the level of this upper platform, and then place 1 more row. Then get yourself a sign and place it there, and we're ready to go up to the top. But before we do, we're just going to place another 1, 2, 3 blocks on there to stop anything shooting off the end. We're up at the top level, and I've dug a little hole into the wall. I've placed a dropper right here. You can see the placement just above that drop there. We've got a hopper going into the side of it and a double chest going across the top. Stairs over that, so the double chest will open. Over here, I have got 2 observers. Now the observer that is directly behind the dropper, the redstone bum, is facing into the dropper. That means when it does a redstone fart, it will fire the dropper. This observer here is facing into that observer. So when they see each other update, that will continue to push a redstone fart into that dropper. That is a sticky piston that is attached to this block with a lever on it. So when I throw that lever, that pushes that observer into the front of the other observer, and it farts and farts and farts and gives us a continual drop-in mechanism. Turn that off. I can now cover all of this up because I do not need to see it. I just need to leave that gap there so as I can reach that lever, and I can place those there because we don't even need to see that side of there. Place a pot there and a slab on top. That will block anything coming out of that dropper from popping over onto your shelf, and then put a water bucket right there. That is going to flow down and down and down all the way into the hole that you made down below. So I'm just going to show you how this works. Open that chest, place any of the blocks that you've got out of your mine, any of these mines, and then throw the lever. That is going to spit the blocks out. Now they're going to fly down and down and down that water until they come out at the bottom. And you can see all of those blocks cascading down into your storage system right down at the bottom. It's quite fun to watch, and it collects everything. And what's quite nice is very occasionally you are going to get a glow squid spawn into this cascading water. It will eventually drown, and that will give you a little bit of glow squid ink down in your collection system. And you can repeat this mechanism on as many of the levels of your mine as you would like, depending on how lazy you want to be and how far you want to walk. But remember to at least repeat it on the other side. And if you want to, you can make a water column. All of these waters in here are water source blocks that you can achieve by growing kelp up it. Over a soul sand, you have got a dispenser or a dropper right in there with, again, 2 of these observers. And if I flip this switch, that will then flick up all of those blocks going up to the surface. meaning you can mine, dump all of your stuff in the chests on any level and they'll appear at your base up on the surface. Now, all you've got to do, if you wanted to, is decorate it. And for me, you can never go far wrong with a load of bushes, some vines, and a little bit of glow lichen. I know it's a lot of digging, but actually this is a very effective way of getting an extremely high number of ores and resources out of the ground and not missing any. Plus, you can actually make it look really cool and even possibly part of your own base. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoy them, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.